Greetings, fellow gamers. Wait for that autofocus. It's time for another review. Look, I'm only a couple years late for this next one. I suppose you think I've been lying down on the job. And boy, do I have a retro-inspired game for you today. Aggelos.
Aggelos. Aggelos. Aggelos.
Aggelos is a Metroidvania-style game developed by Wonderboy Bobby and Storybird, published by P-Cube and Look at My Game. It draws obvious inspiration from games like Zelda, and to a lesser extent, Battle of Olympus, Iron Sword, Simon's Quest, Mystical Ninja, and Faxanadu. It was released in June of 2018, first on PC as a submission for Green Steamlight, and is now moved to Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PSN, as of April and July 2019, respectively. Retro-inspired games where you explore, gain power-ups, and fight bosses to unlock areas is my milieu. Platforming and side-scrolling adventure goodness. Each new area of the game introduces new enemies, so you're never fighting the same kinds, or which I appreciate, no palette-swapped enemies here. You can refill your health at save points or with the hearts enemies will drop, but those are not common. You have the ability to carry an herb that is an automatic and it will heal you when your health reaches 0 on its own, but the herb only fills so many heart containers, so when you reach higher levels, the herb is not refilling all of your health. You can buy large or small health potions or an elixir to heal yourself, but you need to use those manually before you die. And you are only allowed to carry one. And yes, you have to purchase upgraded armor and swords with the comically oversized coins enemies will drop. I wouldn't call buying potions and items in the game grinding, but if you find yourself lacking in money, then you might have to do a little grinding. I never found myself needing to grind in the game. But like all old school games, in their early towns sell the best healing items for the cheapest prices, so my frugal ass would always go back there and buy them rather than pay premium prices. Hey, fuck you. I have that down since the 1980s. Hell, there's a lady in the first town who always gives you a free herb. You want to pay for something you can get for free? You be my guest. You have a basic attack and jump to start at the game, and that's it. Controls are really responsive, but throughout the game you'll run into swordsmen, wise men, fighters, and these fuckers will teach you new moves, like the downward thrust when you press down and attack.
With such fluid controls, decent graphics, and pretty good gameplay, I'm honestly surprised more people aren't talking about this game. I got this physical copy because I bought it on Steam, and, I gotta show you this because I need to be legit. Hey, wait a minute. God damn it.
The game does bear a strong resemblance to Zelda 2, but lacks the pesky grinding and leveling up. While it does not have Zelda 2's overworld map, it does have similar mechanics, but you lack a physical shield, and believe you me, that would come in handy in this game. And the upwards attack in this game is a bit different. You use it by pressing up an attack, which turns out to be a way more unique and difficult mechanic to use. The upward slash in this game gives you almost a double jump, but only in a specific way and direction, so you have to time it if you're going to use it for the precision jumps the game requires. To me, one of the unique things about Aggelos is the character is never named. He's referred to as you, and he's the only character who never has a dialogue balloon or his name spoken. And in a world where every game is littered with story and lore, I find it interesting that the character has very little of his own attributes. In fact, there are a few times when the character responds on his own, but it's far and few between. Like when the seer asks him if he'll accept the quest, he or you nod yes. Oh wait, let's rewind. It's an average day in Lumen when you happen to be minding your own business, slaying eagles and whatever these things are supposed to be with your sword, when a young princess runs through the woods asking for help. She escaped her kidnapper, Valian, and was running for her life. Peach, you listening to this? This princess saved herself. Yeah, if it wasn't for this guy, she would have gotten away. But once you defeat this poor bastard, you tell the princess to go wait in your home, and you will go to the castle to send guards to escort her because it's too dangerous. Calm down. This is literally the first minute of the game. And I've script here for a second. I don't like the term Metroidvania, because the definitive Castlevanias are 1, 3, 4, maybe Bloodlines. I know people love Symphony of the Night as great of a game as it is. I would mark it as a shift in the series in the same way Metroid Prime shifted the Metroid series. So, really, Metroidvania means Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night, but is used for this side-scrolling platformers that have somewhat non-linear progression and leveling up systems. The handhelds are offshoots of those games. It's odd to me the term Metroidvania exists when there are so few games of that period that follow this now well-known formula. So the term Metroidvania hardly applies to games of its namesake. Mini rant over.
I mean, what was wrong with the term adventure game? That's what it is. Yeah, I'm standing now. I can stand. And in a blue shirt. I hear this is the color to get the ladies. Wait, what? How old?
Ah, but the princess tells you the front door to the castle is locked, so you have to find your way through the hidden entrance in the forest. And once you make your way to the castle, the game takes a huge, big old dump of exposition on your face, neck, and chest like you're a German glass coffee table and explains to you what the hell this game is about. And that's about the longest bit of story you're gonna get. Which is fine by me. Games love to have their terrible stories, and I prefer to skip cutscenes. So yeah, the evil guy wants to do evil things. And there are 4 elements.
Water. Earth. Fire. Air.
No. That's the wrong series. These 4 combined make the most powerful element, light, whose antithesis is darkness, and Valian wants to bring darkness in the world, and the only power that can stop it is the light. Why does he want to do this? Because he's evil.
I don't like to feel good. I like to feel evil. Oh.
And we are the chosen good guy with the special ability to bring the elements together and take his ass out.
You know, I am the chosen one.
And you know what? That's all I need. I don't need a Joker movie backstory to find out that Valiant was picked on and his mother died. He's evil. I am good. That's the fucker I'm taking down. Let's go. I'm coming for you, Valiant.
You are next.
That enough references for you? I think that's enough. So that's your quest. Find the palaces, navigate their mazes, get the power, defeat the boss, get the element, get the fuck out, save the world. Other than that, this game doesn't hold your hand much or tell you squat. Well, that's not fair. There are towns you can visit where the villagers will give you clues, and they are far less cryptic than other games, but not always straightforward. They help you progress in the game or complete side missions so you can get heart containers, gold, experience, and other items. Seems simple enough. Well, sometimes. For those of you who are pansies, this game lacks a mini-map, or maps of certain areas. Yeah, that thing in games that tells you where you are and wherever you've been, there's no hand-holding here. You have to use your noodle to remember, or write it down if you're that forgetful, because you're not a damn dumbass. On your quest to get the elements, you go through the dungeons or palaces, whatever. You'll progress and you'll find magic rings that give you special abilities. The water allows you to cast a temporary shield, and you could float when you jump, swim in water, and it has an explode attack I've never used. The fire element shoots fire, allows you to teleport, and attacks in between teleportation. So you use this magic to access certain areas. The earth magic just suits a magic thing out for attacks in a specific arc and turns one type of enemy into a temporary platform.
The air magic, the last one you're probably going to get, is the most versatile. It allows you to air dash and does some damage to enemies, and allows you to run really, really fast until you need to jump or hit into something. What? I'm sitting. I can sit. I got tired of standing. I'm playing the game. I'm reviewing. I mean, this is in no way contrived or set up for a bit. What? What do you take me for? I'm professional.
The magic in the game has a meter that allows for a few uses. You fill it back up in the game by using your melee attack. And you can gain more magic slots throughout the game, but you can only cast spells so many times before needing to melee again to refill your magic. You use the magic by pressing the magic button and direction on the keypad, all except for air, which has its own dedicated button. This combination of melee to refill magic means if you could time things right, you'll never really run out. But this is far more difficult to always pull off than it sounds. And it's kind of unique to do it that way and become strategic. If you need to cast certain spells to get past an area or defeat a boss, then you have to use a certain number of melee attacks so that you can use your magic again.
And this seems like the perfect spot where I would make some contrived joke about the melee attack mechanic or something, but I don't do that. I don't squeeze those things in here. I'm better.
Hey, so I was thinking for the melee attack bit...
You get out. I don't want to hear that shit. Get out of here. Go make some friends. You don't do this cut-in shit. You hear me? Go make some friends, preferably not big obese guys that are going to die of a heart attack in 2 seconds and say yeah and ruin your channel. And don't you bring in no clam just because you met her somewhere. That guy really needs to give up.
Later in the game, these evil-ass developers combine all of the scroll attack moves together along with using your magic to get past certain areas. And for some areas, it's just not that easy to pull off. Getting the elements is the bulk of the main game. Yeah, there are several side missions, if you want to call them that, you need to in order to progress or find if you want more magic slots, heart containers, or experience. Oh yeah, you have experience in this game. I'm not sure exactly what it does, other than level you up and refill your health. Other than that, I don't think it does anything. It doesn't seem to make your attack stronger or increase defense. So if you're strategic, you can save to where you know you're going to level up in a palace and get a free health refill, as you can only carry one potion. And you might need this free refill, as there are no checkpoints or saves inside the palaces. The palaces themselves are varied and the puzzles are not repeated, so each new one brings a new set of challenges and enemies. And I wouldn't call the puzzles in the dungeons difficult, but there are some that require the right mix of challenging and problem solving. And they do require precision timing, and that can be frustrating. I mean, look at this shit! You have to figure out a way to light all of these orbs using the methods of attack and magic. The game starts to ramp up its difficulty around the third palace, so you might find yourself getting more frustrated after the fire palace than you did with the earth and water. And for the masochists out there, this game has a difficult mode. The bosses themselves can be demanding, but like many retro games, they can be easy once you figure out the pattern and what combinations work well. Even though there are about 9 bosses, I kind of feel like I would have liked to add more. Maybe more palaces in the game, or some more mini-bosses. And I don't spoil final bosses, but I will say good luck if you haven't mastered and acquired the requisite skills. The ending is a tad surprising. No spoilers, but in retrospect, I should have seen it coming. And that's it. Aggelos is a fun game with enough side quest challenges and upgrades to keep you engaged for about 6 hours or so. If you're one of those wimps who's going to look up locations and items, then it's obviously not going to take you very long.
I think Aggelos is a really good game. It's got decent music and vibrant colors, and a pretty good fun factor. For me, it's worth the $15, but if you're looking for more than 6 to 8 hours of gameplay, roughly, then you might want to wait for a Steam sale or find a key from a reputable site and get a discount. It's not perfect, but for me, this game is probably a 7 out of 10 or so. And I suggest you check it out. I'll see you next time.